All right, I'm doing a little bit of a bonus video here. Now, our buddy Simon here does not have the same problem, but Addie and Oreo, the other two dogs, have problems with sounds. They are startled by sounds. Now, part of this is because they have so much cortisol in their blood, every sound is amplified, kind of like if you're lying in a haunted house making taps on your shoulder, like, what? And so it's the same principle. So basically, in this video, I'm going to go over how you can use counterconditioning to help your dog get over the sound, reacting to various sounds. And I'm going to put a little bonus at the end of this bonus video on how you can teach your dog to like having its nails trimmed. So the first thing you want to do is, I don't have a sound, and he's not uncomfortable with these things. The other two dogs are so fearful, I can't really work with them directly for a video like this because they're just too nervous. So what I would do is you want to capture the sound. Now, if it's a sound that you can recreate in the house, like opening the door, dinging the microwave, blending some coffee beans or something like that, you can trigger that on command. A lot of times it's like the UPS truck outside or the doorbell or whatever it is. So in order to do this exercise, the key element is the dog cannot react. If the dog barks, whines, whimpers, lunges, any of those things, it's not going to be helpful. It's practicing freaking out. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I have a recording of like a telephone or of the doorbell. Let's say the dogs react to that. And so I'm going to key it myself, but I would normally have it recorded on my phone so I can play it. I'm going to have the volume turned down very, very low. So enough so I know the dog can hear it, but not so loud that he thinks that there's somebody's at the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, ding dong, treat, as long as he didn't react. Then I'm going to go, ding dong, treat. Let's say we're at volume 2. I'm going to do this for about 10 treats. Now, for the purpose of this shot, I'm going to sit right here, but normally I would say ding dong, treat. Then I'd walk 3 steps that way, ding dong, treat. 3. You want to move around. Dogs don't generalize well, so you don't want to just practice. Otherwise, if he's standing right here, you can hear the ding dong and he doesn't go for it. But if you go over there, he won't be able to do it. That's from the previous video. So now we're making it rain treats when he went to Hawaii. All right, so the idea is the stimulus, the sound comes first. It's immediately followed by a treat that the dog likes. Now, the volume is the way that I can, depending on what the element is, I either turn down the volume, slow down the speed, or increase the distance to the point where the dog, in order for this exercise to be effective, the dog has to feel comfortable. So if he's reacting or lunging or whatever, you play it at too high a volume, or you're too close, or it's too intense. So the idea is, we're at volume 2, ding dong, treat, and then I step around and do that. The next time I do it, I might turn the volume to 3, 4, and then repeat the process. And 4, you don't have to go one at a time. Bigger steps are okay. But if you do a step and the dog, its ears flatten or its head or gets jittery or whatever, or it reacts, back up a step. This process, it's best to go slow and steady and be conservative and build progress on top of progress, not to have failures, because then the dog regresses considerably. So I would make a list of all the sounds the dog is reactive to and keep on doing it until eventually you can play the sound full blast. The dog's like looking around like, who's going to hook me up with a treat? Because now that sound has become an indicator that I'm about to get a treat. Instead of fearing the sound, I look at that sound as what we call a perceived. That sound means I'm about to get a treat or something like that. He just discovered I put a bunch of treats around my little fan to make sure that they were going to be comfortable about it, and the other dogs didn't come in, so Simon's like, this is the best day ever. All right, now Simon's front nails are very long, and dogs have something called the quick inside of their nail. Now Simon, being a dog that has some white on his feet, you can see through the nail, they're translucent. A lot of dogs, I have Dalmatians, if it's a black spot there, the nail is black and you can't see anything. So if that's the case, if we cut into that quick, it's tender flesh, it will be very painful, the dog will cry, it will bleed, and your dog will be less likely to want you to touch their paws. Most dogs are not fans of us touching their paws in the first place. So the process for this is to go very slow and steady. Simon, come here. Now I'm going to pantomime. I'm not actually going to do it because I barely have built up confidence with him, and I don't want to regress. For the Guardians, it's different. So what we want to do is we want the precedent to come first, and then the dog to receive a treat or reward afterwards. Sit, and he doesn't have to sit. Just put it, and again, you can set him up for success by exercising him. So let's do this. Boom. Now you could come up with a word. You could say Manny. That time, I don't know if you noticed, I gripped his paw a little bit as he offered to me. The fact that he shares his paw, normally I wouldn't like that, but in this case, it's actually helped us out. So I'm holding this digit, and then I give him the treat. And you can use kibble for this as well. Everybody, let's do that again. Sit. So I'm going to hold, oops, come here. it. Now, I think what's going on is that little grip that I made of his paw is more than he was ready to accept. So do you notice he's keeping distance from me? This is a subtle thing that most people miss. That's his way of saying, I didn't really like what you did. So if you get that experience, you want to back up and do the previous step again, or the preceding step easier. So maybe you just have him put his paw on your hand and then he gets the treat. Keep on doing that until he's comfortable putting his paw on your hand. Then what I like to do is I like to grip, when he puts a paw, I grip one digit and then I let go and give him the treat. Then the next time I do a different digit and different digit, that's okay, everything's bundled up in there. So I've done all those treats. Now he has a problem more with his front paws than his back paws. Yes, you're just investigating everything. So the idea is we go through all 5 paws, and eventually at first it's just the paw, then I'm holding the digit, and then a treat and a digit for all the treats, or a kibble. Then after a while I might hold it like about 2 seconds and then give him a treat and let go. After I get to the point where I can hold it for about 3 seconds, I'm ready to use either trimmers or Dremels. I prefer a Dremel, which is like an emery file, and you just hold it zzz, zzz, zzz. So I'm going to explain for both of them. So if you're going to use trimmers, what you do now is you give them the hand, you hold up the digit, and you take your other hand with the trimmer and you just, the clippers, and just hold it up and then put it away and then let go of the digit and give him the treat. So you're doing it for all treats. All you're doing is you're holding on the digit and showing him the trimmers. Now, for a lot of dogs, holding up the trimmer is going to make him go away. Is that the case for him? Mm-hmm. So let me back up and give you a step for that. So what you would do is have a handful of treats and the trimmer, and these are going to be my clippers, these 2 fingers. And Simon's right here. I hold it up, he looks at it, I take it away, and I give him a treat. I hold it up, he looks at it, I give him a treat. I hold it over here, he looks at it, give him a treat. If he doesn't look at it, pull it back, and then flash again. Occasionally I might have to switch the trimmer over here and the treat over here. This is called a conditioned emotional response, or a CER. This is a way of helping the dog. I just look at the trimmers now and good things happen. It doesn't go to my nail. You should not try to hold it up in concert with holding it until you hold up, and eventually you'll hold it up like this, and that's what he'll do. He'll come and touch his nose to it. So only when he gets to that point should you actually start doing the stage where I was at, where I'm going to resume. So basically, you hold the digit. You've gotten to the point where you can hold it for 3 seconds. Forgot. It's over there somewhere. You got to find it. So now I get to the 3 seconds. I'm going to now show him the trimmers while I'm holding it, and then the trimmers go away, and then he gets a treat. I do that for all 10 digits in the front, or you can do all the digits if you want. The next stage is I'm going to hold it. I'm going to take the trimmers. I'm just going to touch the end of the nail. I'm not trimming. I'm just touching it, and then let go and give him a treat, and then let go. Do that for all 10. Eventually, then what I'm going to do is these are the trimmers. I'm going to put it around the nail and just grip it. I'm not going to cut. Boom, let go, and then give him a treat. So we're doing all these in a very easy way to help him feel comfortable and relaxed about it before we ever start trimming. When we do trim, make sure you trim very close to the end, because if the quick will grow if the nail gets really long, and his front nails are very long, the quick is going to grow with the nail. The problem with that is if you tip too much, if he causes him to bleed, he will not want you to trim his nail for a long time. You'll lose a lot of progress. The idea is to have a little trip, just a tiny little bit, and then after, when I do the first time, I would have super high value treats like chicken or beef liver, and snip a little bit, and then give him 5 treats. And then the next nail, 5 treats. So this is called a jackpot. We want to give him a very high level of reinforcement for this. And eventually you can trim a little bit more. Now if you're going to use the Dremel I prefer because it's not the sharp, that pinching creates pressure, which a lot of dogs don't like. We also can go into the quick, which dogs don't like. Also it gives it a flat surface, and then if the dog comes up, we have the scratch marks on our arms. So with the Dremel, for the Dremel, you shouldn't hold it on the nail for longer than about 3 seconds, because it will heat up the nail internally, and that can burn. That can be another negative. So what I would do, first of all, is get him used to getting to the point where I can hold the nails up for 3 seconds like I did before. Then you can hold up the Dremel the same way, but you're not turning it on. You're just holding it up, he looks at it while you're gripping, and then you take him away, give him a treat, and then let go of the nail. After you've done that to the point where he's like, doesn't care if you're holding the nail and holding up the Dremel, that's fine. Now we want to use the sound of the Dremel, because it's a machine, it's going to make a sound. So what I would do is I'd have it behind my back, I turn on zzz, zzz, turn it off. So zzz, 1 second, turn it off, and then give him a treat. Do that without touching his paws, and I would do that in different parts of your house as well. So again, now I just hear the sound of and it's behind my back, so it's somewhat muffled. Then eventually I would do it where I'm doing it here, and eventually I'm doing like zzz here and turning it off and then give him a treat. Only when I can do that, and none of the dogs move away, and the other 2 dogs are the sound of this is going to be more profound for them than it is going to be for Simon. Come. There you go. So basically, eventually the next step is you're going to hold the nail, take the Dremel with it being off, and just touch the end of the nail, and then take it away and give the dog a treat. And do that for all the 10 nails. Keep on doing that till you can touch it, and you can hold it there with it off. The dog's relaxed and comfortable. And again, the dog can't react for any of this. The last stage is you're going to hold the nail, you're going to take the Dremel, turn it on, and as long as he doesn't move away when you turn it on, if he does, back up and practice that step again. Eventually turn it on and go zzz for that quick, and then give him a treat. And if he had real difficulty with it, I might give him 5 of those really high value treats. Eventually you can hold zzz for 2 seconds, or a full second, but at first it's like a quarter of a second, zzz, and then it's off. So you have to be very slow, very steady, but if you do this right, the dog will actually like having its nails done because there's no negative components to it anymore. You helped it along the way by creating a positive association with all the elements, and I get a treat after each time, and there's no pain or discomfort. And like I said, a lot of dogs just don't like having their front paws handled. This is why in our puppy classes we have an exercise where we do that. We do this, hold it, and give them a piece of kibble. So if your dog really struggles with this, you might just do that with kibble, no trimmers, nothing else. You're not even holding, just getting them used to conditioning holding their digits. All right, Simon. Simon says, can't compete with the dog's nose. Sit. Simon. This is Simon. He's sniffing. And these are some tips you can use on how you can desensitize your dog from sounds that it's fearful of. Oh, that's right. I remember I had bully sticks in my back pocket. Or a bonus tip on how you can train your dog to like having its toenails trimmed.